shit, you're live. Oh my gosh, YawnyBlew said hi.
Oh, you can see my comment already?
Uh-huh.
I can't tell what I look like from there. Do I look like a decent human being? I need to start wearing my glasses, huh? Probably.
That's cool.
Should I lower my mic? It got a shadow on me. Okay.
It does have a shadow on you. You want to? Oh wow, this is cool.
Your apartment is huge. Oh, what am I sitting on?
Uh,
A water bottle. I like the contemplation. Oh, we're live. We're live.
and okay, cool. I just wanted to see if we were getting audio. Okay, we sound good.
We live. Oh, that's what I look like. Okay.
That's cool.
This is me watching the screen and you staring at it laughing. This is great. Huh. All right. I like this shirt.
Let's see, we got 5 minutes left.
Yes.
What you want to hear?
Let's play a game.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. Oh, so I did a live earlier today where I asked people their favorite Usher songs and their least favorite Usher songs. Because I was watching Usher. Okay, so I'm not too hard because nobody's even watching. But what is your favorite Usher song? What's your least favorite Usher song?
My favorite Usher song definitely is probably Nice and Slow. And my least favorite Usher song is what's the one he had with Nicki Minaj?
Little Freak with
No,
the
not that one.
it had the Stevie Wonder sample.
No. Actually no, I know what song it is. It was when he had with Zaytoven.
Oh, that whole album.
I can't think of the name of the song. Yeah.
Hot Dookie.
Yeah. What were yours?
My favorite Usher song is probably Sweet Lies. Or I don't know what you're gonna do, girl. And my least favorite Usher song might have to be I don't know, anything that's come out in the last 2 or 3 years, probably. Probably. I was about to say we got 2 people watching, but I think it's us.
I think it is too. The Sweet Lies is a one. I think that just felt easy to name, but I really do think it is Nice and Slow. Like I think anytime that song, not even me singing it, but when I hear it, it just always like it feels really good.
I feel like that about Throwback too.
Oh, that's a good one.
Throwback was one of my favorites. What's up, Eric M?
Hey, Eric M.
Yeah, Throwback is one of my favorites. I heard fuck, I hadn't heard that song in so long too. Not That's What It's Made For. What came on right before That's What It's Made For?
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. But the song that was right before that on Confessions. Sometimes I want to drive, but I don't feel like driving. Sit back and ride, but I feel like driving. Come follow me, come follow me now. That one gave.
And that's what's up. Eric, you could put your favorite Usher song in the chat.
Yeah, let us know your favorite Usher song. That is your government name. I'm sorry. Should we give you an alias?
That's hilarious. Oh, shout out to the sale I just made too. Just sold some merch.
Hey,
that feels good.
Well, that's the point of today, right? It's a Merch Madness Day. Merch Madness month.
Let's see. I would probably ask because I probably couldn't answer the question. But what is your favorite Stevie Wonder song? Actually, I could answer the question.
Can I answer the question? Yeah, I don't know. I've been getting introduced to a lot more Stevie. I think right now the one that resonates the most with me is the All in Love. All in Love is Fair. That one is beautiful. But without the recent downloading of Stevie Wonder music that I've done, Maximilian Gonzalez I want to. I do like if I want to. What's up, Maximilian Gonzalez? My real last name is Gonzalez,
That's
so
what I'm
maybe
about to
we're
say. It's your
cousins.
cousin. Yup.
Pre-meet those. Um, Prior to some of the Stevie stuff you put me onto, I think my favorite might have been the Donnell Jones cover.
Okay.
What's it called?
Um,
Fuck. I know it too, but I keep wanting to sing "Sweet Little Dee Dee." That ain't it. That ain't it. Rocket Love is a good
Rocket
song.
Love. That's actually what I was gonna play before we started this stream. Was
Maximilian Gonzalez, do you know which Stevie song it was that Donnell Jones covered?
I forgot.
My eyes won't let me hide,
Um,
'cause they always start to cry. What is that called?
um,
I see us in the park.
no, that's a different song. That's two different songs.
Wait,
Oh,
no,
knocks me off
it's
my
not the
feet.
same song.
That's what you were singing. Knocks me off my
I
feet.
don't want to
But the
walk.
first song you were singing was Ribbon in the Sky. But that's knocks me off my feet.
No, wait. Always start to. No, I don't know.
That's Ribbon in the
That's
Sky.
not Ribbon
Oh
in
no
the
no no, it's
Sky.
not Ribbon in the Sky. Lately, lately.
Did Donald Jones cover both of those?
I know Jodeci did.
Oh, okay, there we go. I'm back. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. Lately and knocked me off my feet. I'm here now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
here. Thank you, Maximilian Gonzalez. I just like saying that name, so I'm just gonna keep referring to it.
That's funny. Shoot, well, it's 7 o'clock. And this is the Art of Letting Go after show. We never done one of these before. So thank you, Maximilian Gonzalez, for tuning in. This is our first time trying this out. It said it's actually 7:01. My bad.
Yeah, we mad late.
YawnyBlew, how are you doing tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. We just coming off of a live show. We just put the episode out yesterday.
Yes,
Um,
at the Soho House.
we did at the Soho House, and it was I listened back to I edited the episode, but I listened back to it, and it was really dope. It was really dope to just hear so many different perspectives shared in one recording. And I'm curious to know, what was the experience like for you? Because was this your first live show podcast?
Yes,
How was that?
it was my first live podcast and my first time just interacting with people in that way. Just
Yeah,
like being up on a stage, or we weren't on a stage, but talking to people. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to you for leading actual conversation. So it felt very communal and conversational. It was a lot of fun.
yeah.
I learned a lot. I felt very seen.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You definitely shined.
Thank you.
Yeah. It I think because I've seen you in other spaces, so to like see you there and like really like be in your personality was really dope.
Appreciate that.
Of course.
You too. I think you definitely give people the space to share, and a lot of people there were very comfortable sharing. And at some points it was almost, I don't know if uncomfortable is the right word, but just I was shocked that people were so open.
Yeah.
But I think years of therapy and learning how to be a better communicator allowed me to receive a lot of what they were giving
Yeah.
without taking it on, or being jarred, and just being able to kind of, give back. And I think that was probably the most fun, was knowing what to tell people, not knowing what to tell people, but knowing how to speak to people who are being vulnerable. That felt really gratifying.
Yeah. Something I used to have a challenge with was and not even just in that type of space, but just like taking on other people's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um because especially in conversations like the one we had, they can get pretty heavy
Yeah.
pretty fast. And just for anybody that doesn't know, we had a conversation about queer relationships for people of color, and it was really dope. But yeah, it was some heavy stuff. And I'm curious to know, how were you able to receive but also not take on?
Hmm. I think I'm in a place where taking on wasn't is not even really an option for me, you know? But like I said, years of learning how to deal with people. Like I used to take on a lot in my friendships, in my creative relationships. And I think in the last year I've learned to not do that. So that wasn't really an issue for me coming into this. I think it's still, I mean, still a lot of energy you exert when you are connecting on those levels. But as far as taking on, I think I had the tools already prior to not have to really feel like I was internalizing. And also, even bigger than that, I mean, we all shared, there was so much commonality that you can't really take on something that you're already dealing with.
Yeah.
You know, so when we had conversations about just feeling not feeling embraced by the black community, when we had conversations about not feeling embraced as a queer man or as a black man or whatever, like those are all things I related to. And even when we had some of the women in the audience talk about their experiences, there was that commonality where they were also sharing, like, you know, even though they're not a queer man, as black women they were feeling pushed out of certain spaces or not feeling like their blackness was valid. And those are all things that I related to. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a Dominican boy from the Bronx. I'm Afro Latino, and I don't always fit neatly into the boxes everybody wants me to fit into. So to answer your question, I don't feel like I was so much taken on as much as people were like reflecting me.
Yeah. That's what's up. What was your biggest takeaway from the experience?
My biggest takeaway would be, hmm, I think I left feeling galvanized to have more conversations. That'd be my biggest takeaway.
That's dope.
What about you?
My biggest takeaway from the experience, it was really just that it's possible to do more of this. Um, you know, like I said at the event, I've kind of dreamed of hosting experiences like this, um, but never really. I don't know if I could say I've ever really put true effort into making it happen.
Hmm.
It's kind of just been something that has been an idea that's always floated around. So to have the opportunity to really do it and not feel any fear.
Hmm.
I remember times of like feeling like I used to sweat a lot when I would public speak, and to not feel none of that and really like feel confident and sit in that chair and be present and be like, wow, like this is what I've always wanted to make happen, and to see it actually happen in real time, it was really dope. Um,
Do you mind getting into the why behind this specific event? Because I know you mentioned it there and you're mentioning it now, but like just for people who don't know your journey to that moment, why was that so significant for you? And why did you want to take your pod to a live format?
uh, if able to bring it to live format to really allow my community to connect collectively. I have a lot of people that reach out to me and let me know how the podcast affects them or how it inspires them. And, just knowing that there are so many people looking for the same thing, it almost felt like putting out the bat signal for whoever was looking for this to come and partake in it. And also, build their own community out
Mm,
of it. You know what I mean? Like, I think when because I've always tried to build community amongst like black queer people in general. And I think it used to be discouraging because anything that I would try to do, most queer people wouldn't show up. So to be in a space where people showed up, you know, it was, and I really wanted people to just take whatever they wanted away from that experience. I know what I wanted to give, but I wanted them to just take something positive away from it, you know.
what did, because you talk about you want, I'm sorry, I'm take asking you questions now, but I feel like it's a poignant question because I know we've talked about it a few times, trying to pour into certain communities and maybe not getting the response we want or just feeling as appreciated. For the people that did show up, for the communities that were represented, what did that mean for you? Because it wasn't just all queer men; it was a mix of people. So for you to put out that bat signal and so many different type of people show up. What was your takeaway from that?
Uh, it let me know that I'm aligned with my mission and my purpose. You know, when I wrote out my mission statement in doing this podcast, and shout out to Jeremiah for helping me even become clear on that. But essentially, all the work that I wanted to do, that I want to do, and still doing, is rooted in inspiring self healers.
Hmm.
And I felt like everybody that was in that space is on their own healing journey. As I told you before, like when I first put it out there that I was doing this event at the Soho House, people were hitting me up telling me, "Oh, I hope I find my husband. I hope this, I hope that."
Because of the
And
emphasis on relationships initially.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think everybody that showed up was supposed to be there. You know, even the people that just stumbled in,
Hmm.
you know, they were supposed to be there. And to know that, like, people ex- had a valuable experience from it, like, it felt like a mission accomplished, you know what I mean? But yeah, going back to what you were saying about, like, the different people showing up, it felt like that was what, like I said, what I intended on.
Hmm.
Even with this conversation, and it's funny because when I invited people to it, I was like, I'm only gonna invite queer people.
I remember this.
And I had to take a step back and say why, because the audience of this podcast is not just queer people.
Mm-mm.
So
And
for
your
me,
community is not just queer people.
of course. So for me, it was just like, let me just open it up, let whoever wants to come. And I mean, the room was split like 50-50, you
Hmm.
know? And that was really cool. That was really dope. And I think because I'm even thinking about it right now, like there were even more women than I expected to be there. Like
Hmm.
I didn't know what the demographics were gonna look like. I was just
And
like, whoever shows up, shows up.
they were very involved in the conversation too. You know what, actually, going back to your question about my takeaway, just on this point of like who showed up, and how as content creators, as artists, we try to super serve certain communities because we feel like that's our duty as people from marginalized communities. Like, let me pour into queer men, let me pour into black men, let me pour into people, places where we feel like we could shine a light.
Mhm.
um I think that that's beautiful and it's an incredible intention. But one of my biggest takeaways now after this conversation from the event is just remembering that you don't know who you're going to touch. And while it's
Yeah.
a beautiful intention to try to super serve, I think it's even more beautiful to just kind of open up and create for everybody, or just create for yourself first. Whatever
Right.
it is, create the avenue for yourself, create the platform that you need, and then share that with whoever's showing up, because the person who shows up is the person who needs it most. And I think that was beautiful to see who showed up. And it wasn't just the demographic. It was the demographic, but it wasn't just that. So, for me as an artist, I've tried to kind of super serve certain communities, and I'm learning that only thing I need to do is be authentic. I have to, like, I owe it to myself, and then really embracing who shows up from there. And it may
Yeah.
not always be the people that look like me or who have the same experience as me, but that's okay, because they have what they need in other places, but I need to create the community of people that show up for me. And I
Yeah.
think you did that beautifully that night with everybody who was present.
I appreciate that. Something that came up for me just now was, when you do try to serve specific communities, do you feel like those communities show up in those spaces? Because I recognize that there should be safe spaces for black people. There should be safe spaces for queer people of color. But for example, an event like this where, you know, straight people do show up or non-black people do show up, like how does that work for you? Or are your spaces specific and they show up like that every time?
Well, for me, as in the era of my life that I'm in now as an artist, as a public figure, that basically started for me during COVID. So when you ask about people showing up for me, there hasn't been too many opportunities for people to have to physically show up for me, because there hasn't haven't done a lot on
Yeah.
the public. This event was probably my second public event as YawnyBlew. I did a show, I opened for a friend a year and a half ago. So I don't know how people are going to show up for me. I know how people show up for me online, and support that way. And I will say that there could be I can benefit from widening my scope. I'll say that. I think that I really felt like people that look like me needed me, and they do, and I need them, but that's not the end all be all. I have to really be open to connecting with everybody. And I think it was it was probably a safety
Yeah.
approach to just say, like, I'm a queer artist, let me just market to queer people. And unfortunately, a lot of queer sites, queer blogs aren't prepared for somebody that's doing like subversive R&B, or it's a lot of it's still pop driven and still more uh queer driven, in the sense of in the pop culture queer driven. I don't fit a lot of those spaces, so
Yeah.
it was be silly for me to try to force myself into them.
And wouldn't people that look like you or that are like you benefit from seeing you take up space within the world?
I think so, yeah. And I think I can't do that if I'm just trying to stay in my little corner.
Right.
But like I said again, I think just separate from all of this, I think just coming out of quarantine, becoming being a quarantine artist, being a COVID artist,
Yeah.
the transition into the physical spaces is a unique one that I'm at the very beginning of. So I'm learning what I look like in those places, and what taking up space looks like for me.
That's what's up. I noticed that you don't have any merch on today. Okay. Okay.
We didn't plan that. We didn't plan that at all. But I could throw it on. That was smooth. I definitely did have my sweater down here waiting. My bad.
So I mentioned that because we are going to talk about this thing that we're doing called Merch Madness. But I wanted to know, post this live episode, what is next for YawnyBlew? Like what is coming up for YawnyBlew?
Whoa there. Man, I am wrapping up a project with the mirror, and figuring out when that's coming out. I'm collaborating with you on a project, and then for myself specifically, figuring out what my next solo efforts look like. I have the 1 year anniversary of my debut album, Midnight in Brooklyn, next month, April 11th, which is my birthday. So trying to do something cool for that. And yeah, I don't know. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out.
That's what's up. Enrique Hernandez said whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. What's up, Enrique?
I thought it was Gonzalez.
Nah, that's a different person.
Is it?
We got Eric M, aka Maximilian Gonzalez, and then we got Enrique.
Okay. That's what's up.
Right. I'm back.
But yeah, so
But yeah, that's what's next for me. I'm having fun figuring it out. I am man, I've been behind the scenes forever. Like I said, even as an artist, I've been kind of out of sight, out of mind. So what does that look like for me? I'm really trying to unpack that. And I'm not trying, like, it's not a struggle. I am actively unpacking it. And it's a lot of fun.
yeah.
It's a lot of
Which
fun.
do you prefer, being in front or behind? No homo.
I am verse in life.
That's what's up.
Verse life. No, I think honestly what I would prefer, yeah, I mean, it's a bad joke, but I do prefer, I want to blur the lines as much as possible, because I
Yeah.
feel like there are days where I show up and I'm being used by the universe to write a song that may or may not be for me. And there are days where I show up and that's my story.
Yeah.
So I just want to be able to create every day and then let it go where it's gonna go.
That's what's up. Speaking of creating, you have been creating a lot of merch this month. Can you explain what is Merch Madness? Because I keep seeing you and myself post about merch every day. Merch. What is Merch Madness?
So I don't watch basketball, but Mike Brown told me about this thing called March Madness. Oh, you are the same, Enrique.
Told you.
Wow, hilarious. You told me about this March Madness thing, which is like is it college basketball?
It is college basketball.
Yeah, so it's tournaments, yada yada yada. But Mike and I talk about merch constantly. Mike's a fashion guy. I like to think of myself as somebody who likes to wear clothing. So we were talking about designing merch for each other, and then we talked about doing a competition and just anything to empower ourselves to just sell merch and see what we can do. So Merch Madness was born from those two things. And it has been just us two not only trying to sell merch this month, but trying to get educated on merch, trying to get
Mm,
educated on just some of the pitfalls. Like, for example, you got this shirt rush made in 2 days and you found a spot in DTLA to get shirts printed. We do drop shipping printing, which is usually like it's in a factory somewhere that we have no affiliation with. So for you to find that resource is huge. For me, like recently somebody purchased a shirt for me and it wasn't available and I had to learn like what to do when like there's no stock and I
yeah.
wasn't. So basically just it's a lot of troubleshooting, it's a lot of getting educated, it's a lot of trying to make sales. Shout out to everybody who's purchased stuff from us this month. You just got to sell as we started.
I did. As we started, I got 2 sales, which is awesome. I didn't get to see. Oh, so yeah, we just explained what Merch Madness is. But yeah, I got 2 sales right before we started this stream, which was awesome because I was feeling I was feeling a little, man, today has been kind of an up and down day for me, if Imma just be honest. Because earlier today I was feeling really up, feeling really good about the work that I'm doing, the work that we're doing. Like we've been consistent, also sober. Shout out to us for being sober
We got a
because
lot going on this month.
I have not drank, I have not smoked
Yeah.
weed. I'm not doing it for the entire month.
That's the other part of Merch Madness we forgot to mention before we keep
Yeah,
going. We're posting every day, so we're creating content, and we've been sober. So go
yeah.
ahead, tell
So
us about
a
your day.
cleanse. But I woke up this morning, I felt really good, and I started, just getting on my promo, whatever I needed to do. And I was like, man, like and what I initially said was, man, I've been working hard. And then I tried to remove the hard and just say, I've been working. I've been getting to what I need to do. And then I had a moment midday where I was just like, man, I'm doing all this work and I'm not really seeing results from it. And just kind of questioning like what am I doing? Like what am I doing that is not right? And I couldn't really come up with an answer and I found myself just kind of starting to get in my feelings cuz like, well damn, do I have to be on here with my shirt off? Do I have to do this? Which I know that's not
You're talking in reference to just like social media interaction
just
and
social
sales.
media interaction sales, like, because even in the last couple of weeks, I've had people reach out to me and tell me how dope it is to see what I'm doing, how I'm progressing, how I'm inspiring them and shit like that. And it's like, well, how does that shit translate to like sales or just how do I translate inspiration to a monetary value?
Yeah.
Because um as much as I love helping people, inspiring people and shit like that, that shit don't always pay your bills.
No. No. That's fair.
And I want to know how do I how do I change that? And at the same time, it's obviously working because yeah, I just made 2 sales today.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it can be discouraging. And I really wanted to give myself the space today to just feel that because
Mm-hmm.
we are playing a long game and within that, it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy every day. So just having to remind myself that. But I'm curious to know, how has Merch Madness been for you so far?
Um, thank you for sharing that because I think we came into this. We got a lot going on. Y'all can hear my dog snoring too. He knocked out, but
It's live.
it's reasons going into this Merch Madness, and when you talk about that transition from the support to the monetary, I think that was a big part for us too, because we are people who we really care about what we do. And we've discussed sometimes feeling just nasty trying to make sales. Like there's a part of it that kind of feels a little gross. So
Mhm.
at least with what you do, especially where you're trying to help people heal and create things for them in that space. And that's hard to put a price on.
Mhm.
So I think merch was easier to just say, like, well, let's put it on a shirt and put it out there. So the whole month has been about trying to figure that out. And we're only one weekend. But as far as how Merch Madness has been for me, man, shout out to my family who really came through and purchased a lot of merch,
That's what's up.
which was dope, and just showed me, that I have a great support system. That's been cool, and it's helped me shift gears and just start to think of other ways in which I can reach wider audiences, people who aren't just supporting me, not that just supporting me because we're family, but people outside of family that can support me, real people who I can connect with outside of my immediate audience and demographic. And then it's just got me, I don't know, a lot of stuff has been coming up. Being sober has had a lot of really necessary things coming to the surface that I've been addressing. So that's been cool.
What has came up for you the most while being sober?
Um, the biggest realization I've noticed, because I drink, I can drink. I'll say that. Like I'm Dominican, so
Mhm.
I can ingest a lot of alcohol
Mhm.
without blacking out, without being drunk. So I think I've always been good with liquor. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm not but removing it from my ecosystem has allowed me to realize that I look for things to, I don't know if cope is the right word, but I look for things
Cope is a good word.
cope. Yeah, like I rotate vices.
Yeah.
So when liquor was out, it was like, well, let me smoke. Well, let me do this. Let me do that. So I'm noticing all the things that are coming up that help distract me and
Mhm.
just addressing them in real time. And that feels really good.
That's what's up. Um, yeah, I think I've noticed that as well. Like removing the smoking and drinking, and for a moment, I felt myself go to candy. Like I gotta. I don't eat a lot of. What's so funny? I don't eat a lot of candy on a regular basis, but when I'm stressed, I eat a lot of candy
Mm-hmm.
in the same way that I drink, in the same way that I smoke, and removing those two. One is showing me that I have a lot of self control.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not addicted to anything. Um, but it also shows me how much I relied on these things because there are moments where that urge may come up where this may have been a regular practice
Mm-hmm.
to cope in this way or to be a habit in this way.
Mm-hmm.
And to have to shift that, it in the beginning, in the first couple of days, I felt it. I felt it a lot. And I don't feel it anymore. And even today, there was a moment where I kind of did want to smoke weed, but it was also like, no, I've already committed to what I'm committed to.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to find another way to shift your energy, a healthy way.
Yeah.
And going outside was helpful. Talking was helpful.
Going outside is
Just
huge. I love that. Going outside is my favorite thing to do when I'm feeling kind of lost. Go
yeah,
for a fucking walk.
yeah. It shifts your energy, and I think something that's also helpful is that morning routine. Like really sticking to it every morning, even when the day has a shift, it's not as bad as a day where I don't do it.
Do you want to share with people your morning routine?
I can. My morning routine consists of I start every morning by praying, journaling, going to the gym, stretching. And even when the weather is nice, I like to go out and walk, but it's cold. It's been cold in the morning, so I haven't really been able to get out and walk in the mornings. But yeah, stretch, journal, pray, meditate. Um I you know what I will say my creative hour looks different right now
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of my creative hour is in creating like promo shit, creating a video, creating this, creating that. But usually my creative hour my creative hour can consist of making music, painting, writing, something. And I think that's all I really do in the mornings. Oh, and you know what? Reading. And I need to do that more often. That's the one thing that I do like to do in the mornings, but I just haven't been making time for it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, especially in the last couple of weeks, I just been moving so much that I haven't been making as much time for reading as I should or I
Right.
could. And I think that's why I do like having those accountability groups and like just those accountability spaces to like, hey, if this is what we doing, this is what we sticking to. I'm gonna stick to it. Like my book club, for example. And I've even thought about starting a book club for, and this is not one that I want to, there are spaces where I want to open things up for everybody, but I would like to start a book club for queer men, just to really like dive into some deeper conversations, more than just the surface shit, more than just, sexual positions and bullshit like
Hmm.
that, because that's bullshit. um but really talking about like who you are as a person,
Yeah.
and what's going on with you at the core of your spirit, and how we can collectively grow together, because I'm in these spaces with these black men where I feel the growth, not only on me, but on them as well. And it's like, man, if we had spaces like that, like, yeah, it's great to have safe spaces and shit. This is a safe space as well. But what about a safe space where we can grow?
Hmm.
So
And share resources, share tools.
of course.
That'd be huge. I definitely. Well, you have a member here. I'm down. I would join your book club. We've been reading all about love.
Hmm.
Um, which we got to get on, but
Hmm.
shout out to you for having a morning routine. I've learned the benefit of it through you, and my morning routine looks different every day. But for sure, getting up, stretching has become very important every morning. Praying or just some kind of gratitude, reflective moment, positive self talk, journaling. I have a dog, so walking him, I try to walk him for at least a half hour now. Before I used to just take him out, let him do whatever.
Yeah.
Now I time the half hour, and I notice the difference of taking the full half hour for myself, for him
Yeah.
too. But those things super help. They super help, especially in a month where I've been giving things up. And I was even telling you today, because today makes a week into March, that last night I had some family in town, some family friends in town that I took out to a bar, and I didn't drink, and I was okay.
Yeah.
So coming into today, I was like, oh, you know what? I think I'm ready to take something else on.
Yeah.
As I'll take rather give something else up
Yeah.
for Merch Madness. So I don't know what that'll be just yet.
Yeah, and I think the routine is really valuable for me because it helps me create discipline.
Hmm.
Not only with my routine, but just in life.
Yeah,
Like, I think that's why I am able to be sober this month. I think that's why I am able to stay consistent with promoting myself this month. And having the accountability of like, okay, I see you post something, I need to post something. Or
hmm
if I post something first, just kind of just staying consistent with that. And I think within the consistency, not getting caught up in the numbers.
that's huge.
It's
Because
challenging though.
yeah, it is, and I think you're actively going against the way social media is built. I mean, it's literally programmed for you to pull up so it can reload. It's
Yeah.
instant gratification. So when you post something, especially something you're proud of, you want to see interaction, you want to see numbers, and it's almost going against all of that to just post and walk away from it. But I think it'll be beneficial when you talk about discipline. That's another discipline. That's something else to learn. Just be able to say like, hey, I know that these numbers probably aren't going to be exactly what I want right now, but let me commit to posting every day,
Yeah.
creating awareness, which is what we've been doing with our brands, with our merch, with your pod course, with my music. But it is tough. It is tough, and I think it would be awesome to have more people in on that discussion of how tough it is, and just kind of encouraging each other to know that like it's all bullshit. It's an algorithm. It's not real. And it's gonna do whatever the fuck it wants.
Of course. Of course. And but it's really funny how the shit works though, because it's like you could post something that for you they feel like very valuable, or like something that's like needs almost like immediate attention, and
Hmm.
then post something can feel so ridiculous and it get way more attention than what you uh what you felt was important. And I'm curious to know, how do you not get discouraged in those moments?
I do get discouraged for sure. Um, I'm learning to listen more to what the universe is telling me, to what the algorithm's telling me, to what
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of this is escapism, and we deliver a lot of heavy topics in our content. And people maybe don't always want to interact with that. So they might go for the easier things to digest. And you can't fault them for it. As a business, you have to pivot. So it's
Yeah.
like, I'm a silly person anyway. So if y'all just want silly stuff, I can post silly stuff. Like, the goal for me is to get the interaction. The goal for me is to create awareness with what I'm doing. So I may not always be able to do that in the most serious way, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just, you got to just kind of roll with the punches. It is discouraging though, but I think, again, once you realize that it's an opportunity to pivot and you take it, I think things feel better. But I think a lot of people don't pivot when they get the chance, and I think that's why we end up being so frustrated.
Yeah. Um, what has been the biggest challenge so far in Merch Madness, if any?
The biggest challenge, um, I think I'm coming up on the biggest challenge now, which is, what is the long-term takeaway I want from this, right? Because a couple of sales is great. I made some money this month. That's awesome. But what do I really want in the long term? And I think that's what I'm starting to wrap my head around. I think I really do want to design something, create something that people want to interact with on a long-term basis,
Yeah.
something that can connect me to people outside of my immediate community. So I think that's going to be the real challenge for me that I'm looking to take on. And then of course just the personal challenges like we just discussed, of just being frustrated if things don't go 100% the way I want. But I've already accepted that's a possibility, and I think that's the beauty of posting every day, because it's like, well, I know I have to post today anyway, so let me just get over it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's what's up.
What about for you?
My biggest challenge so far has been in like just turning some of these engagements into sales.
Mhm.
Um, it's easy. It's easy to connect the idea of what I'm selling to people, but it's like how do I turn that into a sale?
Mhm.
You know, because I will say with most of the designs that I've posted, people have told me, like, I've gotten feedback on it where people have been like, "Oh, this is dope," or "Where can I get this?" or "What's this? What's that?" And in that, I don't see a sale. So it's like, okay, where's the disconnection
Mhm.
within this, and exploring that a little more. And maybe it is just continuously putting it in people's faces. I don't know for sure.
Mhm.
Maybe it is hitting people up directly that ask about things. And I have done that. Like, somebody asked me, where can they find a shirt? Boom, here it is.
Mhm.
Where is this? And giving those direct links. But maybe it is putting it in people's faces enough to where it's undeniable.
Yeah. Another cool thing too, which I want to kind of put the spotlight back on you too. I think if people know the meaning behind some of these things, maybe they'll be more prone to purchase it.
Mhm.
So tell us about your awesome orange shirt that you're rocking today.
So this shirt, and I'll probably go up to the camera so y'all can see it a little
Right, right,
closer.
right.
But this shirt, it says healing in real time. And that's pretty much what I've been doing throughout this podcast, throughout my journey, is just healing in real time. Because I think before, I used to, since I've been on my healing journey, I've always wondered, like, do we ever come out of healing and be healed?
Huh?
Like, when do you stop healing and just be healed? And I think, like, you're continuously healing from different things. Like, you may be healed from something, and then something else may come up, and you have to do the work around that as well. So I think just continuously healing is what healing in real time means for me.
Where can we purchase the healing in real time shirt?
You can purchase these at justmikebrown.com, or you can get them at theartoflettinggopodcast.com, which will send you to justmikebrown.com. But, however you want it, we got it. It's also available on Instagram, Facebook. I'll bring one to you if you are local. I'll mail one to you if you can't figure out any of these ways. Just reach out.
That's dope. I think it's important for people to know the stories behind what we're doing, and I think you have to have that long term mindset. It's almost like your shirt is a mantra for everything we're doing, really, because we're healing in real time, we're growing in real time, we're building in real time, we're building our brands in real time, we're building our engagement in real time. All of that shit takes time, and it's the one thing you're required to do is show up with an idea and patience, and let the rest do its job. So,
What connects you to smiley faces?
um, I don't know. I know that for a long time I took making music really serious,
Mhm.
and I didn't put a lot of joy into the music I was making,
Mhm.
and took a year off of making music at one point. And when I returned, I wanted to always lead my creativity with joy and just being happy to show up, being happy to be there. And I think smiley faces are obviously the easiest representation of that. You know, just having a smiley face on something just reminds you to just smile, be happy. So I don't know. The smiley face just felt like something I was attached to. I know that it's not the most original, but it felt the most accessible. And it's like, it just I don't know, it felt like something that spoke to me at the time that I started figuring out logos. And I made it personal with the YB eyes for YawnyBlew. And this hoodie's been a lot of fun to just wear and brand and grow with. I've seen people I've become synonymous with that. I have about two of them, so I am wearing it pretty often. But yeah, I don't know. The smiley face just felt it's a constant reminder. I like to surround myself with things that remind me to feel good. Yanni Blue is a reminder not to take life too serious. The name doesn't mean anything, and the smiley face is an extension of that.
That's what's up. Where can everyone find this Yanni Blue YB hoodie?
YawnyBlew.com, YawnyBlew. We have this blue variant, we have a burgundy variant, and a black one. So, got options.
Okay, I like burgundy. I have to give me a burgundy one.
We got options. So, but yeah.
That's what's up. So you've been doing Merch Madness for a week now. What is the focus going into this second week? Well, you're in the second week. So
In the
what's
second
the
week.
focus this second week?
Second week. Um, like I said, expanding, and I think like I just said, something as simple as explaining what some of this merch means to us is going to be huge. Getting some of those stories out. Creating more avenues to promote outside of Instagram. Connecting with other sites and figuring out other places that I can sell my merch. Designing more new merch because in selling it, I'm learning what I like, what I don't like.
Yeah.
Also, we are part of the learning process has been getting these shirts and seeing what they look like. Since we've been using drop shipping sites, we don't get to see a lot outside of the mock-ups that we do. So you have to get them and see what they look like, what they feel like, and then you have to make decisions from there. So I know definitely going into next month, I want to put more focus on quality, creating some more dynamic and universal ideas. But in the lead up to that, I think my biggest focus is just going to be how do I connect with more people outside of my initial community? Because they showed out. Again, shout out to my family. Yeah, I showed out. So how do I get to the next group of people?
Yeah.
You know, what about you?
Um my focus this month is really engaging with the community that I have. Um I think I can be more direct in my approach of connecting with people. Like social media is cool, but it's different when you have somebody's phone number. It's different when you have an email. So I want to put some more effort into like directly
Hmm.
marketing to people. And yeah, like I feel very confident about my products and not just like t-shirts and sweatshirts, but my course. I feel confident in my Patreon, and I want to build all of this stuff up, you know, because I do feel that I deserve to do this full time. I do deserve to create full time. And because I'm damn good at what I do.
Woo!
And that's everything. Like not just podcasting, but everything I do, I'm
Talk your
really great
shit.
at.
Talk your shit.
And I just need to have my pockets catch up to where I am today. You know what's funny? This entire year has been me catching up with the current version of myself. So now it's time for my pockets to catch up with the current version of myself today.
It's gonna come because you're developing the tools, and I think that's the biggest thing people forget. I tweeted this yesterday. I said the dream and the work are so separate, and I really do believe that. And I don't know where I heard that from. I'm pretty sure I stole it, but it's something that I wish more people would adhere to, because these dreams, these things that we aspire for, are beautiful, and can even almost be whimsical and magical. And if you allow yourself to believe that, you won't dedicate yourself to the work that it takes. So they are sold separately, but you can figure it out sooner than later. And I feel like we are, and I hope a lot more people around us begin to as well, because a lot of us do deserve to really walk in our purpose, and so many of us are not doing so because of the fact that we subscribe to the magic of it all. And magic is just science that you can't explain, but when you get into the science of it, it can be magic, and you can still be practical about it. And I think that's where we're at.
Bars. I like that.
Bars.
Magic is science that we can't explain. I like that. That's a t-shirt.
That's a t-shirt.
But yeah, YawnyBlew, before we get out of here, I got one more question for you. And shout out to Enrique Hernandez for coming through. Um, what advice would you give to YawnyBlew from a week ago?
Don't order Wingstop. It's gonna be all right, kid, and get out the house. Get out the house. Get out the house. How about you?
I would tell myself from a week ago, consistency is key because consistency also builds confidence. So keep pushing, keep going. And don't actually I gave this advice to myself earlier today. And I think me from a week ago and other stages of my life need this, but don't feel discouraged during the fight. Wait till the end and then decide if you need to feel it or not. And that's it.
Bars.
So yeah, YawnyBlew, let the people know where they can find you, where they can find your merch. I know you said it, but and actually you should probably go to the camera and show your piece because I'm gonna show mine.
That means I gotta walk all awkwardly up to the camera. Okay. If you guys want to purchase my hoodie, YawnyBlew.com. I've got these YawnyBlew hoodies, and I've got merch actually from a lot of my different releases. So if you follow my music, you can check out some different things. Gang.
That's what's up. And yeah, like I said, if y'all want to find this shirt, you can definitely find it at justmikebrown.com or the art of letting go podcast.com.
Yes, that's your turtle bottle. Yes, yes. Give it to him. Yes. Schoolboy realness. Is it schoolboy realness?
And that's it, bitches. We
Americans.
out of here.
Oh, okay. Bye.